Hey guys, I've heard from several different sources that don't know each other. Totally different people, different genres of life, different walks of life, probably wouldn't know each other they don't know each other, I'm pretty sure. All have basically given the same information or warning, if you will. And I learned when you have a warning to take heed. I like to think that I am pretty tapped in and intuitive. And so when things resonate, they just sort of resonate. And with the way 2020 has been dealing us its cards, I am going to go ahead and say that even if these sources are wrong, which I don't think that they are. I'm gonna keep it 100. I think that they are absolutely correct. But even if the sources are wrong, it doesn't hurt to be prepared. I mean, just let's be real. I live in California. I've heard some pretty heinous things about what might happen this year in California. I'm gonna actually play some of those references right now for you so that you don't just think I'm losing my scruples, guys. So if you have soft ears or a soft heart, or if you are lost in the sauce and get scared very easily, I'm going to ask that you just go ahead and cover your ears or fast forward for about a minute. But my sources have said
he has literally figured out how to predict earthquakes, and he's brilliant. He really is. And the way he explains it just makes it so simple, and it makes you kind of scratch your head and go, why doesn't the government tell us why don't they use his methods? And actually, they're always trying to shut him down. Go figure, right? People who speak truth are always getting shut down. Anyway, I really could feel that, I still felt, and I was still standing by my earthquake prediction for the new moon for the 3 months, for June, July, and August. We had the one hit around the new moon, down in Southern California, that was a 6.2, and I had talked, I said a 6 or greater, and that it had something to do with a magma chamber as well. Well, they're having activity in that same area again, and he's saying that there's going to be significant earthquake activity in Idaho, close to, like, the Boise area. Might want to have a little bit of an earthquake plan together, and you might want to be prepared, because in my original prediction they were showing me it had to do with magma chambers, 2 volcanoes, and that it would also be a significant earthquake, 6 or greater. And with these earthquakes that just happened, and then now Dutch Sins is saying that he actually issued an earthquake warning for the next 7 days for these areas in California and for Idaho. And those were the areas I was feeling strongly, was Idaho.
Here. So where the rings overlap, we have to watch there. And we have a warning going for a mid-range to upper 6 now to strike in Idaho. 7-day warning. Additionally, we're carrying on the warning down in California at Bishop. I'm just extending it for the rest of this week. We're going to see what happens, but I'm thinking it's going to come in from the northwest. I mean, we already know it's coming in from the northwest.
This is Frankie McDowell, my own team station live from Wentworth Park. Attention, citizens of California! Attention, citizens of Oregon! Attention, citizens of Washington! Attention, citizens of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada! Attention, citizens of Baja, California, Mexico! Earthquake warning has been issued for California! It's going to bring 9.0 greater magnitude! People in California, you have to be prepared for a major earthquake. It's going to occur in September 2020. The earthquake will be so powerful in California, it may destroy lots of houses. It may destroy all kinds of telephone poles. It may destroy all kinds of transformers. It may knock all kinds of telephone poles over in California. It's going to affect Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Colorado. It may also affect Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming as well. The earthquake will be so powerful in California, it may destroy...
Get the hell up out of there, fam. I told you what's coming. Oh, well, that's enough, fam. Let me go ahead and reiterate this, because I was shown the vision again about these damn volcanoes and these earthquakes. Y'all think I'm playing about that. Now, so y'all gonna sit around, you gonna play the game, Y'all got. Do you guys understand that there is an active volcano right outside San Diego, and there's an active volcano right above Victorville, going north on 15 North. Those two active volcanoes. I'm talking to my people in Cali. Those two particular volcanoes, it's going to be a wrap. There's a lot of seismic activity going on in those areas right there, and I told you there's going to be a tremendous amount of damage in Southern Cali. Get your asses up out of there.
California is. If you're in California, you need to get out. Period.
Sis, I done told them. And they keep asking the same questions.
Texas
is right when the hurricane comes, right when the earthquake comes. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of that stuff this week with Uranus that deals with those things too. With a full moon square Uranus, that's earthquakes. We saw Uranus when it entered into Aries, if you don't remember. The day that it entered into Aries, the second time over, was the Fukushima earthquake. So, this is a lot of pressure on Uranus. Massive, T-square, while Mars is squaring Jupiter. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is definitely a hurricane and a lightning storm and an earthquake in your life. And while Venus is crossing the North Node.
After receiving this information, I didn't run with it straight away. I have kind of just been paying attention. I've been logging on to Earthmaster and a couple of other channels here on YouTube to watch the seismic activity. And I've just been noticing and seeing that there really is a lot of Earth activity going on. There's a lot of kind of weird things going on. And then on top of that, I think that, I'm a little conspiracy, I believe in some of the theories and things. And so I think that there's just a lot going on. And so I'm going to show you what I've put inside of my stuff to prepare myself for possibly the upcoming events that might be going on. So thank you to everybody that is out there doing their thing, sharing information, because it's up to us to filter through the information that we receive and the information that we take in. But I like to also think that I am very intentional about the way that I do things online. I only follow certain people that I vibe with, that give me a good energy, that feel good, that are positive, that are, motivating and doing their thing. My whole thing is, I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying I have received, and I am sharing what I am doing based on what I have received. And I am going to share it with you because some of you might live here in California, and it's better to be prepared than to be scared if the shit hits the fan. And so with that being said, guys, we're going to talk about earthquake kits today, what is inside of mine, how I am trying to make sure that I can be as best prepared as possible, because how do you truly prepare for the earth to shake? But anyways, to just make sure that I am being as prepared as possible, let's go take a look at my earthquake kit. I'm gonna go show you what I've got packed up. Yeah, I hope that you enjoy. So I will catch you guys later. So in here, I've basically got some pads or feminine protection. There's 3 of us girls. This probably isn't even enough, but just in case. I have these wipes that we got from the hospital, and they're like cloth. They're like a really good kind of thick material, but they're cloth. So just in case we need to clean up, or if there's no access to shower or anything like that, or for some reason, then we have those wipes. A roll of tissue. So I saw this video, and they literally had this 5-gallon bucket, and all of the essentials for their kit were inside of the 5-gallon bucket. And then they took everything out and showed you how you can create a little pool, with the pool noodles, like a foam seat, and put your tissue on the roll in the event that there's no access to a toilet. Guys, I'm literally not even talking some little mediocre 4-point anything like what we just experienced. I almost feel like I don't even know why that was made a big deal when we get those. We get those 3-point somethings, those happen on a regular basis. But I mean, from what I have received and from information that I have gathered, It might be like the 9, in the 9s, in the 8s. That's a big ass earthquake, and it can do some damage. So anyways, candles. I have these, we have a ton of these in our garage, but I just put one in here in case we have to like carry this anywhere. But this is like one of those burners, like the little flame burner for the chafing dishes that you put under. So I mean, just in case. And then inside of this little army bag kit has like all of the essentials that I could think of medically as far as what we had on hand. I haven't really purchased anything to put in here. Everything basically just came from me. So I have an ACE bandage, inhaler for Preston. This one is new. And then his spacer for this. So this is like an extra medicine. And I thought that that was a really good piece of information that I was able to gather from the videos that I watched, was inside of your kit, whether you're preparing for hurricanes, guys, if you're on the East Coast, if you're preparing for like tornadoes, weird weather in the Midwest, wherever you are, that might get something where you do need a kit, regardless of whether it's an earthquake kit or not. I think that having extra medicine, the kind of medicine that you use, would be like a great idea, obviously. So we have that in there. Flashlight. And I just put new batteries in it, and so I just set in the calendar on my phone to just check on the batteries and the expired, and the food, just to make sure that it's not expired, and to just always kind of come back to this every now and again to check the batteries. I have more candles in here. Scissors. A lighter. Band-Aids, and this is an entire box of Band-Aids. I just took it out of the box and put the Band-Aids in here. I should probably put them in a Ziploc bag, but we'll see. A glove. I don't even know, but just in case we have to do something or like build some shit, like maybe we have to build shelter. I'm not really sure, but gloves just to protect anybody's hands. I have extra batteries. I have a second flashlight. I think this one, ooh, that looks kind of dull. I think this one I'll go ahead and put in here. What is this? This is nothing. I thought this had a glove in it, and it doesn't. It's like toy, so you can get that out of there. Extra batteries for the flashlight. Hydrocortisone, eye drops, and you just never know. So that's all the extra stuff for this. And then in here is just like the dry foods and goods and stuff like that. So I have several packs of ramen noodles. I have several containers of tuna, chicken, beans, soup, cream of other kind of soup.
And then realized while editing this video that we also added things like jerky, granola, seeds, and other non-perishable items. Also peroxide.
So then I have raisins, hand sanitizer, wipes, and then I have this. I was inside of Target and I was picking up some toys and just a couple of little things for the kids, and honestly it was one of those Target trips that I was just trying to be out of the house for a little while. Lockdown was over and that was necessary. But I saw this, and the moment I saw it, I thought about the warnings, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should buy that. It's $20 and it's just a straw, but it's a filtered straw. So it helps to turn any water that could be potentially hazardous. It filters it out so it makes it acceptable drinking water. So in the event that there is no drinking water, even though clearly I have tons of cases of water, but in the event that we are stuck in a situation where there's not access to fresh water, this filtered straw helps with that. So it's like I walked past it and then I doubled back. It was one of those like spur of the moment impulse buys, and I swear to God, if I have to use it, I'm gonna feel like a genius. So now I've put everything inside. I just added in this little throw blanket, the wipes, the toilet paper, my straw, our bag of food, and I figure I can just add to this. And the thing is, I didn't want to make this too heavy in case we needed to like grab it and go or something, which is why I liked the idea of it being in the suitcase, because it was at least on wheels. I mean, one of my biggest things is like in the event of an emergency, like where do you keep your kit? You know, like if everything falls apart, I guess you just don't have a kit altogether, and I guess if everything is safe, then you just keep your kit. You guys, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just trying to make sure that I am prepared. I don't know what is the best way to pack your stuff. So with this, at least everything is here. If we need to get to it, it's all in the tote. If we need to throw the tote in the car, we can do that. It isn't super duper heavy. Also inside of the red backpack that's over here, there are 6 waters and a first aid kit. And so that was just kind of like, at least for 24 hours, each of us could have a bottle of water and some other stuff. It's different when you have a big family and you're trying to set up for an emergency, because, I mean, you can't pack heavily in an emergency, but for 6 of us, that still requires quite a bit of things. More than anything, the weight of me being responsible for little people and myself, you know, and keeping it all intact and keeping it all together and holding it all down. It's like, we just try to be prepared out here. I do have our water sitting over here, and this is kind of like the emergency water, and I've basically just been buying water every time I go to the store. So these are the ones that we basically don't use, even though it looks like somebody was picking in the water. Those are for the event of emergency, and then now we have the kit right here. So if I think of anything else that I need to add inside of there, I will do that. And honestly, like, if you guys are able to think of anything else that needs to go in there, or that you maybe have in your kit, or that you've heard, or maybe you're just more knowledgeable than I am about this and you're ready to go. So let me know. You can't comment probably here, but hit me up on Instagram, drop me a DM, let me know, girl, you need to make sure you have this also inside of that kit. But yeah, I don't know. There's not necessarily one real way to prepare, but I wanted to make this video for 2 reasons. One, because if anybody else out there is needing to prepare or looking for stuff to put in, here it is. Hopefully this helps and it gives you some ideas on what to do and how to pack your stuff up. And also to really just kind of express the warning. I don't think that we're supposed to hold or harbor things when we know about them. Freely we are given information, and freely we should give that information back. And so this isn't to scare anybody, because like, that's not what it is. But you know, I cannot stop hearing the phrase, like, when you're prepared, you're not scared, you know. And so just be prepared for weather, and just make sure you're prepared. And especially as mamas, we should have this kind of stuff prepared anyway. You know, my dad was always on point with the way that stuff was and the way it was prepared. He's military, but things were always on point. And so whether anything happens, if it doesn't, wonderful, praise God. But in the event that something does happen, it's better to be safe than sorry. So get your emergency kits together for the upcoming weather. 2020 has been real. It ain't gonna let up on us just yet, y'all. Keep your prayers up, keep yourselves healthy and safe, and go stock up on some water.